So again, it's me, Carolyn Elliott, and
Laila Bernard.
you're listening to the Sleep Over podcast. And Layla and I, we're driving in the car. Maybe we should roll up the windows at least. Okay. Um, we're really committed to mediocre sound quality. But anyways, we were talking about mothers and daughters and the ways that our mothers loved us and the ways that they, sometimes fell short of loving themselves, as we all have. And I was just reflecting. My mother is an Aries sun, Linda Elliott. Hey, and she always the love, the kind of love she gave me was she just always very simply and innocently saw me as an extension of herself in such a way that like everything that I did was a credit to her, and she was so proud.
I want to okay.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt you, Carolyn? Because
Yeah.
I really want to like sing the praises of Linda because she is the amazing saint of a mother that made you.
Yeah.
But I want to remind us that how we actually got on this conversation was we were glorifying both of our mothers as amazing, irresponsible moms who basically let us do anything we wanted up until enabling us to do anything we wanted, regardless of whether it was necessarily a good idea or not.
Yes.
That's like truly how we began, because
Truly.
we were really, really reflecting on how we learned the deep truth of do what thou wilt is the whole of the law, and really feeling great thanks to my late mother, Bonnie Lynn Toby, who truly raised me with the precept, hey, Laila, do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. I couldn't stop you even if I tried. So
My mother would always say that too. I couldn't stop you even if I wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. And my mom would always be like, well, like I could tell you, but you're gonna have to learn the lesson yourself anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So truly, beginning with the saints of Linda and Bonnie, who dared to parent in the Thalamic tradition of just facilitating their daughters' wills.
I mean, it is really epic for me to think about. My mother made about $40,000 a year and supported a family of 4 on that. And so not a lot of money. And also, like, whenever I asked for something and she could tell that it was, like, really exciting me and I was, like, really into it, she would just make it happen. She would be happy about it. She would enjoy the process with me, and she would,
Oh my God, I want to sing the praise of Omabani. Omabani did have access to money. My dad made, a fairly good living in Dubuque, Iowa, the middle of nowhere where we grew up in the 90s. And also I thought we had infinite money because my mom was completely willing to just play crazy credit card shell games and like max them out and like pay them off with each other's introductory offers. I don't even know how she did it. I don't know how my mother accomplished the credit card magic that she used to make me and my sister's wildest dreams come true. But like we had every shopping spree to, the craft store that we could ever dream of, the coolest Halloween costumes, all the camps. You were talking about your experience of going to Barnard Prep School. Anyway.
Yeah, Linda made that happen.
Magic.
Yeah.
They did literal magic.
They did magic. And I was really thinking about, Layla and I have been talking about the deep way of, like, the mother as best friend, and the best friend as a mother and daughter in another life that you now get to be best friends with.
Well, so I'd love to share a little experience that I had when I had my first son 10 years ago, and I think, it's possible that other women or people who have birthed children have had this experience, so, let's celebrate it all together. When I had my first kid, I remember, Carolyn, like, putting him to my breast for the first time and, like, psychedelically seeing the, like, warping of space and time and being like, there is only one mother, there is only one child, there is only one birth. It's all the one thing. Like, when you are in this space, there's only the activity, and it enacts itself in these many forms, but, like, right now I am the mother, and this is the child, and, like, you can enter that psychedelic space. We do. We all enter it, We all enter through that. That's a portal that we all are initiated by if we have children. So it's really true, like, there is a oneness to the, like, mother-child relationship.
Yeah. as the lover and the beloved. I was reflecting about how it's another version of that. The beloved child is just as beloved as a beloved lover, right?
Right, you were sharing so sweetly about your love of Lulu erotically nursing on you.
Yeah, it's so exquisite, and we love each other so much, and she's so ravenous and adoring.
She can't get enough of her mommy.
Yeah, cannot. And it's so fulfilling. It's just as fulfilling as, at a heart level as any intimate physical experience with a lover that I've had. Of course.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, like, you know that you're really doing it right when you have your baby and they're just, like, looking up at you with, like, the pure face of adoration and, like, love of God. Like, thank you, Mommy. Thank you. Like, God, child-mother love is some of the hottest love that, like, can be experienced, you know?
Yeah, and so just, like, thinking about all this and really marveling at the ways that our mothers were best friends to us in the way of, like, madly supporting our desire.
And even in, like, the EK, like, we don't even admit how much we love that. Like, my mom always wanted to be my best friend and, like, be one of the friends and, like, hang out with, me and my two sisters and be one of the gang. And I remember being like, Mom, get out of here. Like, you are not cool. You are not one. Like, you're our mom. Duh. Don't try and be our friend. Ugh. It's so stupid, Mom. Like, why are you dressed like that? You're making us look so uncool. Like, stop. So, like, but, like, obviously she's my best friend, Like, I hope she's listening to me now as an angel and, like, feels all the massive thanks and praise that I have for my mom, who was just, like, holding it down. Like, I was too young to recognize, but she was just, like, being my bestie who was like, hey, guess what? I'm, like, 31 years older than you, so I can drive a car, and I can, like, take out credit cards, and, like, we can just do whatever we want. Let's go! It was, like, humiliating to receive it as a child. I didn't know what to do with all that, but, like, now I can see it with the, like, insane glee and, like, freedom, of just, like, hey, we can do what we want. And we're friends. We're friends. We don't have to fit into these roles of, like, educating each other and judging each other and shaping each other, like, my mom, like, never tried to shape me.
My mom either. It was really funny. I remember when I was, like, 11 or 12, I decided that I did not want a confirmation ritual in Catholic Church.
Oh, Carolyn, you were in the Catholic Church getting confirmed? I'm so jealous.
No, I refused to get confirmed because by that time I was Rosicrucian and I was serious about the actual Christ, I guess.
The real, you were actually into the real deal. All right, I get it.
And I was offended by my Catholic Church greatly because I had asked to read a Bible and they had told me that I couldn't without a priest around, which is not even true anymore. That was like a pre-Vatican II thing. But the lady teaching the CCD class
had not been updated.
Vatican II. Yeah.
Old school.
And I became, like, so outraged because I had a little Protestant friend who had nice Bibles and she read them and she was supposed to read the Bible. I was so offended that I was not allowed to read their holy book alone. I was like, clearly this place is vastly misguided.
Right. This is not a place to be. This is not a place of truth. This is a place of lies. This is a place of concealment, not revealment, not revelation. We are not revealing anything. Goodbye. Oh, Carolyn, I'm so proud of you. What a genius little child you were.
Oh, thank you. Well, so I thought that my mom would, like, really be upset because she would wake me up and make me go to church and CCD on Sundays. She wouldn't go.
Oh,
and I'd be like,
meanwhile, I was begging to go, and my parents were like, hell no, we're not going to go to that fucking place. That place sucks. They're responsible for all the evils of the world, Laila.
I mean, that was pretty much, yeah. She would wake me up and make me go and tell me that.
That's amazing.
And she would be like, well, I don't have to go anymore. I went for 30 years. I went to Catholic school. Do you want to go to Catholic school?
I got punished. So should you.
Yeah. That was
relive my trauma, Carolyn.
Like, whoa, Mom, your face is so inspiring.
So what happened when you told her that you were not going to get confirmed because it was a bunch of shit?
She she was a bit ruffled because she had been envisioning a fun party with and inviting, my aunts and uncles, her brothers and sisters, and having that had been what she had foreseen. So she was a bit upset that we couldn't have that occasion, but she understood that I did not want to be associated with that, and she couldn't really rouse much enthusiasm for it. And I was like, all right, well, thanks. So she was supportive of me. She didn't try to shame me into being Catholic, or she was like, yeah, you're right, that does suck. Okay, and just was
she let you follow your will.
Let me follow my will.
She did not make
so
your
she
will.
Applied, so there was a shape applied,
right.
As long as I was childish enough, whatever, to go along
to need
with the shape
shaping.
applied. But as soon as I was like, I'm not into this shape, she was like, yeah, so okay.
That's not your shape, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I tell a story of my mom stepping in a heroic fashion to facilitate criminality and heretical behavior?
Yeah.
So this is a story that I'm going to tell on behalf of my sister. So when my sister was a junior in high school, she was friends with a foreign exchange student from France and some other wonderful kids, and they were all straight A band camp nerds, overachieving in drama, in jazz band, in just amazing kids. And what happened was the host mother of this French girl was a bit uptight. She was living in Dubuque, Iowa, very conservative, whatever, Catholic town. And she came across some pictures of all these kids smoking a hookah. And the sight of a hookah just put the fear of the devil in her heart, and she just was certain that she saw these children doing the worst thing imaginable, like opium or something, or some kind of heroin den in Shanghai. But no, it was a hookah bar in Iowa City, just smoking tobacco. So anyway, all these kids get busted, brought into the principal's office, and sat down one by one, Inquisition style, private questionings, and shown these evidences of their sins and their wrongdoing, and are threatened with all kinds of repercussions, and we're going to call your parents. And so my sister is terrified of getting in trouble. She's terrified of her reputation being tarnished. She is such a good girl, such a good kid, and just really is devastated that such a humiliation as being called to the principal's office and made a criminal. She just couldn't handle it. So she's crying, and the principal asked her, do you want to call your mom so that we can talk to your mom about what you've done? And my sister says, yeah, I'll call my mom. So they get on the phone, and the principal, I think the principal called her and was like, Hannah needs to tell you what's going on. And Hannah tearfully tells my mom, they got me in here with these pictures of us and blah, blah. And my mom is like, Hannah, don't say another word. Don't say another word. I'm coming to get you right now. And she just came like a lawyer, like Saul Goodman, like the best criminal defense lawyer you could ever want. She came and scooped her daughter up from the principal's office, was like, you're going to pay for this. We're not doing this. Absolutely not. And proceeded to just help my sister go to college instead of doing her senior year of high school. Just leave the scene of her criminality, which was not criminal. My mom knew full well that my sister had not been doing something degenerate or evil or bad. Maybe they were underage. Okay, well, my mom had bought me freaking cigarettes. She bought us all cigarettes. She didn't care. She's not a hypocrite. She wasn't going to stand, and look stupid in front of her kid by pretending that she did something wrong to please the principal. No. So she just helped my sister go to college and leave the scene and go do something bigger and better and move on. And just cleared the way without regard for, what was supposed to happen or who was supposed to be what.
That is such love.
Isn't it?
You know what I love is really accepting the law of Salema into your heart means that you start to, apparently, in our case at least, start to really understand how much your mother's loved you. It's like a mother love thing. It's like I feel like this is such a deep thing to ponder.
It's like all the times that people didn't rescue you from yourself, that you spend yourself tormenting yourself, being like, why didn't this, or why didn't that, or why didn't they help me? You're like, oh, damn, they were letting me do exactly what I wanted to do. They were just letting me be and learn.
Yeah, and so gracious that is. I mean, there are so many people whose families like harangue them and like try to like.
And you don't even get to learn the first lesson of like bucking authority, because the authority is like so oppressive, and they're like your mom and dad who you love.
Yeah, that's a mind fuck. I'm really kind of sad for people who have like those sort of like perfect parents who are like giving them stuff and like. I don't know.
I mean, we were given whatever we wanted, Carolyn. Like whatever we wanted, but like
but
nobody
was
not
really given. But like when you're after I was out of the house,
like Carmela, for example, gives grounds Meadow and is like, "You're not going to Aspen. You're not doing it right." Like, did that ever fucking happen to you? Because that never happened to me. I kicked out my mom's windshield one time because she told me I couldn't go to a birthday party, and then my mom drove me to the birthday party. Like that is the level of permissiveness that happened in my childhood. And that's why I had to learn, people. I had to learn for myself, like, how to say yes and no, because nobody else was going to say yes or no. There were no fucking rails on the bowling alley.
I did bump into a rail. I did manage to find Linda's rail. I went far enough that I found the rail. And so I did have an experience of being disciplined as a teenager, and it was like such a like wild pit of emotional horror. It was like really intense. I want to hear it.
I would love to hear the wild pit of emotional horror. If you'll let me tell my wild pit of emotional horror,
please. Well, so mine started when I had been dating older men that I met on the internet, and one of them was like 37 and like a British screenwriter. At least that's what he said. I was fucking 14. I don't know if anything he said was true. And Linda, I told her that I would be somewhere. I forgot. She found me somehow out on a date with this guy. I mean, she sent my father to find me. And so they caught me. As
you do with your dad. As you do with your husband.
Yeah. Caught me red-handed in the act of a date with a much older man, and were like, out of their minds with rage at me, like despair, shame.
They were like flagellating themselves. Yeah. They were beating their breasts, wailing.
And telling me what a liar I was, which I had indeed lied to them. I had definitely done that. And they were really emphasizing what a liar I was, how betrayed and disappointed they felt, how they'd always thought that I was so wonderful, and now I had shown myself to just have complete trash
judgment. You just don't know anything, Carolyn. You can't be trusted.
And it was intense, and I was like really, really sad. It was a big division moment for me and my parents, because up until then I had been, successfully keeping from them my extensive erotic internet life that started when I was like 11.
Yeah, welcome to being a child of Pluto and Scorpio, man. Yeah, super intense erotic internet life.
And it wasn't like I was being trolled. I wasn't being, I guess I was being preyed upon, but I felt like I was preying on them.
Totally.
I was it was a jolly time for me.
Jolly good time. It was a jolly good time. Was it not?
I feel jolly about it. In retrospect, when I think about it, I was like, God, I had such intense orgasms having phone sex with these like random people from the internet. It was great. And that was my celibacy technique in high school, because I didn't actually fuck anybody all through high school, because Linda terrified me so much, because she would say, Carolyn, if you get pregnant, you're not going to have an abortion. You're going to have that baby, and I'm going to raise it. It's going to be my baby.
My mom did a very similar thing, when my mom would like goad us and be like, well, when are you going to give us a grandbaby? When are you going to give me a grandbaby? I would just love nothing more than to raise a little baby. And we were like, that is so gross, Mom. Ew. And she knew exactly what she was doing. That's like such an evil, wicked, fairy tale witch shit thing to do.
crazy
You're going to give me your firstborn baby, little princess. Little princess. Be careful, or that little baby's going to be mine. And you're like, ew, you are so gross, Mom.
Yeah, so that was very effective birth control for me.
East or west?
It's just straight.
Okay, great.
That put the fear of semen in my soul. And I was, so I did not want to have sex all through high school, so phone sex was what I wanted to do. And I also made out with people at Rocky Horror Picture Show and stuff. And I had oral sex with these older men from the internet. But I was not going to do the penetrative sex thing because I did not want semen.
Well, you were Catholic
anywhere.
And your mom terrified you.
Yes, I was.
It was perfect, yeah. Oh my God, Carolyn. Wow. Wow. Yeah, oh my gosh. I never found my mom's rails. I never did. Never did. And I didn't find my mom's rails until I was older and I was trying to live with her and her boyfriend in Arizona while I was pregnant with my oldest son. And her boyfriend just really did not like me. I think because he sensed the boundless nature of me and my mom's relationship. And he also had an extremely boundless, weird, codependent relationship with my mom. And he didn't like what he saw in the mirror. So he truly despised me that I might expose him because he knew that I could see him clearly because he could see me clearly. And it was a little bit too much seeing. And my mom told me that I had to leave. And that really was it was truly a shock. Like, it was literally the first time in my life that my mom told me no. And it was at a time when I felt like the most vulnerable and the most like I was literally hitchhiking across America with my son's dad, living out of our backpacks with our freaking puppy that we got, and like pregnant, being like, well, at least I can crash at my mom's. And we were there for like a month, and then my mom and her boyfriend took us out to breakfast and were like, yeah, you guys can't keep staying here. You need to find another place to stay. We ended up camping in a national park outside of where we were living in Arizona, and I would like go to my waitress job at the local Indian restaurant from the campground, pregnant. It was so fun. It was like the funnest, weirdest adventure I could possibly dream.
I think they took us past I think we lost our turn.
We can turn.
Maybe we should put on the directions. Maybe we should wrap up the episode.
Yeah, let's pull over and wrap up our episode.
Anyways, everybody, so these have been tributes to the boundless nature of
mother-daughter love and the possibilities of true, eternal, multi-generational friendship.
Yes. It's an excellent thing. All right.
Do what thou wilt is the whole law. Love is the law. Love under will.
Yes, that's what she said. Bye-bye.